A good night of Shabbos, Pashas Miketz, Shabbos Chanuka. The Shabbos we read from three Sifrei Torah. Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, Shabbos Chanuka, Shabbos Miketz. In many communities, they give a kiddush with three different types of kugel. But getting to an issue that's relevant to us here. This past week, there was a historic speech given at the Congress by President Zelensky. The message of this individual to the United States was, don't give in to tyranny. It might seem dark, it might seem bleak, but the message of hope is so great that it can overcome and outdo all problems. And he and his people lived this way for 300 days, 10 months, where everyone thought that within a matter of a few weeks or so, his army, his country will be defeated, Russia will take over. And he single-handedly stood up, fought them, got the world to support him, is getting, I believe, $1.8 billion in aid now, with one Patriot missile defense system being given to him meanwhile. And he told President Biden and the Congress, I'm going to be asking you for more. Yeah, I am. He didn't mince his words. He was honest and open. This individual was a comedian, but a comedian with a sincere heart. The lesson for us, especially now that it's Chanuka, where we used light to outdo the darkness caused not only by the non-Jews, the enemies, but by our own enemies, the Misyavnim, the Jews who unfortunately went in the ways of the Greeks and culture. I heard this week a great insight from Rabbi Soloveitchik, and the Rebbe also spoke about this. It's printed in Chelik Lamed, 30th volume of his Likutei Sichos, that the majority of the individuals that made us trouble were not the Goyim, were the Yidden, and that's why it was not destruction, Churban, it was Tumah. Rabbi Soloveitchik puts it in those terms. It was spiritual contamination, impurity, making a jug of oil that was used for the light of the menorah in the Beis HaMikdash in the Holy Temple impure. Who came up with that creative idea? Why didn't they destroy the Beis HaMikdash the way the Romans did during the Roman period? No, they didn't do that. Because these were Yidden who led the campaign to create a reform in the traditions of Yiddishkeit of Judaism. And Yehuda Macabbi, with a small group of people, stood up and they said, the word of Hashem will continue. The word of Torah will continue. We won't give in, succumb to the ways of the Hellenists, the Jewish Hellenists. Zelensky did the same thing. We're not going to succumb to the tyrants, the Russians, who want to obliterate us and literally wipe us off the map of the world, face of the world. Hanukkah is a time when we celebrate chinuch. The word Hanukkah in Hebrew is associated with the word chinuch, lechanech, to educate. It's a good reminder for us as we continue the cycle of the Jewish experience throughout the year, the importance of chinuch, pure Jewish education, unadulterated with the isms, with the fabrications, with the lucrative results of greatness, scholarship, the little Komatz Aleph O, the little yarmulke on the head, the tzitzis, worn by a boy, the Neder Shabbos Kodesh that a girl lights. The basics of Yiddishkeit, of Judaism, is chinuch, is Jewish education. It's not sophisticated. It's not misyavnim. It's not Hellenist. It's not fancy. It's not sophisticated. It's not great education in the sense of a Harvard, a Yale, a Columbia. It's a little dinky little cheder, a little yeshiva, a little girls' school. And it's over there when you give your child a Jewish education in the most traditional frum school, whether or not you are on that level, but you do it for the benefit of your child, trust me, you will be a happier parent in the long run. There's not even a question in my mind. So many people and so many leaders today, their parents were not as religious, as committed in a Torah observance and mitzvahs as they became. And why? Because at some point in their life they had a Jewish education. Chinuch. And chinuch isn't only in the school, it's in the house, and it begins in the house. How do you and your wife behave? What do the children see? Do you say one thing and do otherwise and then expect them to be more religious? That's hypocrisy. And it's going to backfire. And this is true from the Hasidic world, the Litvak world, the non-observer world, and all makes no difference. Remember, what you put in is what you take out. So this Hanukkah, when we talk about light, we talk about illumination, and we talk about standing up to the world, let us remember the way a person later in life will stand up and speak his mind in the name of justice, in the name of goodness, in the name of Torah, in the name of Hashem, of God, is what he gets, what she gets when they're a child, when they go and have a good Jewish education in a truly frum institution where the teachers live by what they teach. May Hashem help us. May God really shine upon us, learning from the current events that happened just this week, where one individual showed the entire world today in 2022, going into 2023, stand up. We stood up then, we need to stand up today, and let not the enemy, the oppressor, the tyrant scare you. Biden wanted to bring him in the beginning of the war already, before the war. I'd take him out, airlift him, hide him, put him somewhere. And he said, no, I don't need to run away. I need your support. I need your ammunition. I'm a fighter. I just don't let my people fight and I sit in the background. I fight with them. This is a committed man, really. Committed to what he believes. Committed to his country. Comedian, as we say in Yiddish, ahin, comedian aher. Regardless if he is or he isn't a comedian, this is the real world. In the real world, you have to stand up. There's no joking around. There comes a point where you have to say it, and say it loud. Everyone should hear you. Because if you say it loud and you believe in what you say and you follow that, people see you mean business and people respect you. May Hashem help that we in our lives, as we continue the process of bringing Mashiach into the world, for the entire world, Yakiru v'yedu kol yesh v'sevel, the entire world will recognize the Mashiach, not just a little group here, a little group there, but it will be a global worldly experience of messianic Torah, true reality. Each and every one of us has a part in that, by bringing Mashiach now, doing this commitment to chinuch, Chanuka, have a gewaldige Shabbos with your 3 kugels and your 7 strawberries and 15 donuts. The ikir is, say l'chaim, be connected, make a good resolution, and we'll be zeichet to march together with Mashiach Tzidkenu to Yerushalayim HaKodesh b'mheira v'yameinu amen v'yamin.